Good morning and welcome to the Shire project off-grid somewhere mid-March here in central Tennessee. Most of our supply that has been ordered has arrived here at the Shire. This video is going to be a bit of a show and tell, just so you guys can know what we're doing here. We are starting to build up the supplies and we're pretty much almost there to getting our super soil made and getting our potting soil mixed in. So we picked up some weed barrier. That's going to go down on the ground first, since this is nothing but clay and rocky soil. If you've watched previous videos, you know how terrible our soil is. So definitely we have to have a little bit of weed barrier. Once that weed barrier is set in place, we can then focus on putting our grow pots in, which we have a ton of. Unfortunately, when they sent them, it was a 50 pack. They gave us like 20 or 25 1 gallons. Not cool at that. Gonna make use of them though. We'll figure out what we're gonna plant in those. Maybe you guys can help us out. I've been asking on all the lives and other channels, while we have gardeners scrolling through the chat to give us some ideas of what we can put in those smaller pots. So here are our grow pots. This looks to be about a 15 gallon. I think this is the one that Gail gave us. I think we have 2 of them here, but it is massive. It's pretty big. Then the other ones are a lot smaller. These look to be about the 3 gallon size. So we've got those. There are a few 5 gallons and 3 gallons. But the bulk of them are 1 gallon, and I'm not happy. My wife ordered a 3-pack of 10-gallon potato bags. So we have those. And apparently she's going to want to grow potatoes this year. So we'll see how that goes. And they're starting to sprout out the side of the bag. So there is life within these seed potatoes. So once that weed barrier goes down, our pots get put in, filled with our super soil mix. We'll talk about that later on another video. I'm still working on the biochar. We'll then set our seed starts into those cloth pots. Some are doing better than others. Looks like our elephant ear is starting to come up in 3 places. So maybe there's 3 bulbs in here. I want to get those planted on the front of the house. She has plans for putting a flower bed up there. We have our fiberglass trellis system, which is a bunch of rods. With that goes the little butt end connectors that snap them all together to make the archways. And then the green little clips in here are to hold bug netting down. This is a 100-foot roll of our bug netting. I think it's kind of important, as we'll have a lot of leafy greens inside these grow pots due to bug pressure. From all the information we're gathering about Tennessee and all you other growers, we know that bug netting is going to be critical in order to keep our leafy greens healthy. Just basically want to harvest, you know? Why grow if you can't get anything? There's plenty of woods out there for the bugs to eat. You know, go that way. Don't come here. Go that way. So we have 6.5 by 20 foot worth of shade cloth that's going to go over our leafy greens. To hold the weed barrier down, the bug netting and the shade cloth, we got a pack of pins. We bought a set of extra pins to go with that. I think these are the original, and then we get another 20 pack of pins going in with that. Secondly, what's going to go up in that bed is we're going to have the melon section where we're going to put those T-posts in. We have a 5 by 30 foot length of trellis netting, and that'll get stretched across the T-posts. Looks like my wife picked up a cute and adorable hummingbird feeder. You guys know how I love the hummingbirds. They're cheap, what, $1.25? Can't say no to that. Feed your hummingbirds, they're fun to watch. I think this was $2.50. It's a little harvesting sickle. If you've never harvested from squash or cucumbers, you don't know the fiberglass feel on your soft, tender fingertips. Horticultural harvesting knife is something you might want to invest in. This is a soilless seed starting germination mixture. When seed starting, you don't want soil. You don't want to introduce any disease or pest into the soil or any funguses that might be kind of weird, that might trouble a young seedling for starting. This stuff is pretty soft feeling. It's got a lot of peat moss in it. I'm assuming they've added vermiculite. After the seed starts get their second set of leaves, you can transfer them over to a bigger up pot, allowing their roots to grow bigger. So you'll have your main stem, you'll have your second set of leaves, you'll get a couple more inches in height, like the ones I just showed you. These ones here. So once your plants get their second set of leaves and they get some height on them, you can up pot them and transfer them over to a soil mixture, which would be a garden soil. Then we're just going to wait till that last frost arrives before we plant outdoors. For us in particular here, I would say I don't want to seed start any melons or squash, peas or beans. Those kind of plants I want to direct sow once it is completely warm outside and the soil has warmed up. It's just that the roots don't like being disturbed. Same thing with lettuce. You know, if you're going to grow lettuce, pick the pot you want to grow it in. That's fairly sizable. This way you don't disturb the roots. Speaking of that, the seed start trays are kind of so-so. They're really struggling. So lesson learned, if you're going to do seed trays, have a heat mat and have grow lights. Do it the proper way. From Amazon, we picked up a box of 800 seed packets. This is for saving seed and for sharing out seeds with others. There were some inquiries here at the Shire asking for some seeds. So we packaged those up, made a mini seed bank, and we sent some stuff out to let people try some new things in their garden. We picked up a 200 pack of seed labels. Those will come in handy. Again, found these on Amazon. It was only a couple dollars. I think it was $5 for 200, something like that. Fairly decent deal. Again, we're going to build our super soil. It's either 2 or 3 year super aged composted manure from a farm that does things, I wouldn't say organic, but they're not dropping germicides or pesticides on their property for the most part. Their animals are occasionally medicated, which is kind of normal since they have a lot of livestock. To that compost, we've got some giant bales of peat moss we'll be mixing in to add in a lot more organic matter to fluff it up. There will be a biochar video coming where we make the char and then we'll show you how to inoculate it. So that might be the same video or 2 separate videos, probably 2 separate videos as I got to ferment. Should get on that. I should start fermenting out the inoculation fluid. Just so you guys know, you have the option to purchase perlite or biochar. They serve the same purpose. At least biochar you can make from the local woods. I have a biochar video somewhere in my gardening description that shows you how to do it. There will be a second biochar video coming out. You get to watch us make biochar. I think a 30 or 40 pound bag of perlite on Amazon runs 40 to 50 bucks, somewhere in there. Last but not least, for our whole system to run smoothly and fairly automated is going to be the drip system. I think that cost us around $35, maybe $45, because we've got the extra package of drip lines. Show you what that looks like. It is a cute, adorable little solar panel that runs on a timer. You can see in there it has a send and receive. One of the lines goes down to a 5-gallon or a 55-gallon drum, and then this has a pump in it and a battery. It running with solar. It pumps it up. It's got 2 different types of timers to set the amount of watering and the amount of time to be watered. I'll figure that out. I'll have to read the manual. On, off, in mode. Oh, this is really simple actually. You just click and set it. That's simple. Watery and frequency of watering. Okay, I got it. So with this system, it looks like it can be wall mounted to a post or a building. It's got a little adjustable, flexible neck on there so you can angle it. When you're dealing with solar panels, you want them to face south towards the sun and not facing north, east, or west. So this here is a check valve. It is an anti-siphoning system. That's pretty cool. And the second option they give you is the stake to pile drive that into the ground. In case you didn't have anything nearby, you could wall mount this. You're able to stake it in the ground. Again, no shadows whatsoever on solar panels. They just need to be angled pretty much like this in the summer. It's almost a 90 degrees, but like that in the summer, in the winter more of a 45 degrees. Who's growing in the winter unless you're in a greenhouse? I give you all the tubing and fittings that go with that. So the drip line looks like it fits over here. It's perforated, there are little tiny holes, and there is a slot in here which the water leaks out, and that'll run down towards your plant's roots and keep the roots watered a deeper sense inside the bed. So these are kind of cool. Definitely for us, for raised beds and for grow pots, this is an excellent idea. It's fairly cheap, especially if it's automated. Included with the package comes a filter system with some marbles in it, and that'll help sink it to the bottom of the barrel. In a separate deal, I think this was $10, has the extra lines, the extra drippers, and a boatload of connections inside this bag. 10 bucks. And that expands it to like another 20 pots. So this here I think is a 25 and this is a 15. It's about 40. It's about what we need. Before we go, check this out. This is going to be our grow pot garden design with our trellising system for our melons. And that is here. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Thanks for watching the Shire project and for all your support, and we'll see you on the next one. John has just shown up mid-filming. Come on, John. Oh, it's not John. Oh, it's Russ. I thought it was John. I didn't look. You got it working? So we all have mobility here. He's got a quad, and I got my moped. We have a 5 by 30 foot worth of trellis netting. The bee coming in. We're going to stretch across this. Oh boy, how big is it? 5 by 30 foot. You could transfoil. After the seeds get their second set, after the plant starts get their second start. I got to cut out a lot of stuff here.